Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of New York in the 40s. 162 photographs, text by John von Hartz, and this is Andreas Feininger's pictures. And the information here, original by Dover, 1978, and it's 162 photographs, introduction, captions, etc. just mentioned, 181 pages, and it's 9 1/4 by 10 3/4, paper bound, as you can see there. Just a standard paper. However, it's a great book and similar sort of one. This is New York in the 30s, and this one is another one, very similar sort of thing, but the same people. Dover, Old New York in early photographs. There's also a 60s one, which I've got coming. Now, I had these books years ago, back probably about 1978. Stupidly, I got rid of them, as always. Got rid of these books, and I thought, you know what, I really would like to get those books back again. They're still reasonably priced, not too expensive. And let's just go through the photos. And this one, and it's got a little bit here, New York in the 30s, Old New York, and etc. So you've got some information of all the variety of books. Obviously, there's probably going to be more now. There's New York City photographic portrait. That sounds pretty good. Haven't got that one, so I have no idea. And of course, straight away you go, lovely picture there, obviously, of the Empire State Building. Now, I love New York. It was the first place I went to on holiday, and I've been a couple of times. I wouldn't say I've been vast number of times in New York, but I loved walking around it. Got sunburnt to a crisp when I went the first time. It was middle of summer, probably a bad idea, and well, didn't look a bit like this anyway. Obviously, the buildings and everything had changed. I was expecting it to be like this, of course, when I got there. Ridiculous, of course. It's changed, always changing, like London, of course. So it's got a lot of great detail here. I love the information, the description there, but the photographs are just absolutely beautiful. And I've always loved these old photographs in New York. I think they're just beautiful. And there are a few other books I've seen that sort of similar sort of series, but these ones here, you see all the buildings, the place, and you think, now I wonder if rope nets, there's a building there, rope nets, if that's still there. I suspect not. However, what a great place to have visited, I'm certain. However, probably not so great when it was like this. And I must admit, I got burnt to a crisp when I first went, and subsequent times I got frozen as well, because New York can be pretty cold. And at times, bitter wind that went through, and just not really used to that sort of thing in the UK. Sort of very mild and wet at the moment. Now you've got lots and lots of other streets here, just great. Fulton Fish Market. Can't remember if I ever went around that area. I'm certain I did. Brooklyn Bridge. I went legit everywhere. I wandered and wandered and wandered, and I love walking around cities. Oh, look at that. Just absolutely. Now that's just amazing. So you got that. Just beautiful. And then some of these other pictures are just staggeringly brilliant as well. Just, of course, that's completely different now, I'm certain. Well, it is different, of course. Staten Island Ferry, all those sorts of, well, that one isn't, but the Staten Island Ferry, I went across on that. I loved that. You got the Hudson River waterfront. I mean, just beautiful picture after beautiful. Love all these, they're just gorgeous. To me, this is New York. Of course, the New York I went to was in the 80s, completely different. It's just, lower Manhattan there. You've got, look at that, just glorious. All black and white. Every single picture in this is in black and white. And I love this bit where it's got during the dim out. It's called dim out. How unusual! And you've got some beautiful. Must have been very odd walking around the city that sort of burst full of light and then suddenly very, very dark. I guess, of course, that was the case in London as well. Actually, I've never seen a book of London like that. Not in the same way, with lots and lots of photos. They probably must exist, I assume. Have a look at that. Just all those lovely, all the cinemas. And you've also got, obviously, the box in there, and these sort of tattoo places. And you've got gunsmiths, you've got, obviously, all the Third Avenue grocers. And just street after street, all the rest, just wonderful Chinese grocery stores. And this one, Coney Island. Didn't get out to Coney Island, I must admit. It would have been interesting to see, but I suspect, again, probably very different. But you've got ticket tape parade, and oh, look at that. I mean, I just love these places. Silver's Cafeteria, and just gorgeous. I wonder if that was still, I don't know. That was the thing that struck me when I went to New York. It was quite got so many amazingly old buildings, old shops and things. Something that everyone says, oh, London's really old. Well, London has got lots of old places. Of course, you've got Roman amphitheatres, all those sort of things. However, most of the buildings, most of the shops and things, most of them are not that old particularly. I mean, you've got a few, but most are not. Look at that, beautiful. Didn't get out to the, did go around obviously on the boat, but not, so Apollo there. There was a picture I'm just trying to look for, and of course never can find it when you're looking through a book like this, but there's a lovely one of books, of course, one, and should remember the book, the page number, of course, but I didn't, so, oh, there it is. Finally found it. That's what I was looking for. And you got that. Look at those books. And then you got 5 cents each. 5 cents. Wow. I mean, of course, I'm certain it's probably maybe $1 now, or $1, $2, whatever. I don't know. But it just, I love those sort of places where you can just think. Unfortunately, lots of those shops have all gone now. You don't get many. Charing Cross Road in London, you've got a few, but not many now. Most of them all disappeared. They've all been changed into other shops. But it's I love that sort of picture. And of course, that was to me what I thought New York was going to be. Lots of these old second-hand shops, sort of comic shops that would have tatty old comics of, you know, Action Comics #1 would just be still sitting there waiting to be discovered. However, sadly it wasn't. Or Foundation or something, Gnome Press by Isaac Asimov. But just glorious pictures all the way through this. This to me, just beautiful. Absolutely. And I will do a review also of the New York in the 30s as well as the other ones. And I've also got, like I said, the 60s ones coming. Don't know why I never did one of the 50s. I would love to have seen the 50s one. And also the 70s, of course. But sadly, maybe there are other book series. Maybe. Anyway, this book I think is just one of the best. I love it. And New York in the 40s, I'm really glad I got a copy of it again. So thoroughly recommended. And like I say, you should be able to find copies still readily available. So absolutely superb.